I love it when you sing. I love it when you're moving with me. Oh.
Hey y'all, my name is Blair and I'm a bartender here in Houston, Texas. I'm going to be doing a series of cocktail videos to pair with Heather Green's Whiskey School videos. So if you haven't seen any of those, go ahead and pause this video, hop over there so you can get some background on the wonderful whiskey that we are going to use in this week's cocktail, the Sazerac. What are you going to need for a Sazerac? Actually, not a whole lot of ingredients. However, you will want a delicious rye because that's going to be the main star of your cocktail. I'm going to use the Milam & Green Straight Rye Whiskey, which is finished in a port wine cask, and it recently won the 2020 San Francisco Spirit Competition Double Gold Award. So this rye is going to shine in a Sazerac. You will also need some type of absinthe. I'm going to use Absinthe today. And very important, make sure you have Peychaud's bitters, not Angostura. Angostura, that's for an old-fashioned. Peychaud's, that is for a Sazerac. You'll need some table sugar or simple syrup if you have it, and a lemon to finish off the cocktail at the end. I also have just a couple tools here for you. I have a measuring cup, which measures at least to 2 ounces, a peeler, some table spoons measuring things. You're also going to want to make sure you have at least 3 glasses. So you will need 2 pint glasses, one which will be filled with ice magically in a second, and a serving glass. How are you going to start first? Take one of your pint glasses, and you're just going to want 1 teaspoon of sugar. If you have a sugar cube, that's awesome. You can use one of those. However, I'm just going to use my measuring spoons for a teaspoon of sugar. A teaspoon of sugar makes the Sazerac go down. Next, I am not going to be shy with how much Peychaud's I'm going to put in. I'm just going to do 6 dashes of Peychaud's. And now I'm going to add the whiskey. And if you're familiar with the Sazerac at all, then you may know that it is called the New Orleans Old Fashioned. And an Old Fashioned is a very boozy cocktail. So is the Sazerac. So I'm going to put 2 ounces of whiskey. And I really recommend measuring when you're building your cocktail for the first time. Cocktails are just like cooking or baking. The measurements matter. So 2 ounces of whiskey for a Sazerac. There we go. And then I'm just going to pour a pint-full glass of ice on top of there. Let's talk about spoons real quick. Yes, I have a fancy cocktail spoon. However, you can use any spoon. If you're in Texas or in the South, though, you probably have a nice teaspoon. Those work great for this. But any sort of spoon that can get into your pint glass, that is what you're going to want to use. Cocktail spoons are just fun. Okay.
I use a butter knife.
You use a butter knife? That's funny. The reason why I put all of my warm ingredients in first before the ice is because you want to dilute the whiskey and the sugar and mix it all together. Also for this cocktail, you don't need to shake it. It doesn't, I'm not going to care if you do shake the cocktail. You do you. However, stirring the cocktail, you have a little bit more control over how much ice you're melting. You do want a little bit of water in this cocktail, and if you shake it, you might get a little bit too much. You might go a little crazy. So I'm just going to stir this cocktail. Sometimes I sing my hand washing song to myself when I stir the cocktails because 20 seconds, that's not bad. A little happy birthday, a little no scrubs. So as you can see, the ice, you can't even necessarily see the ice peeking up out of the top. It is now diluted a little bit. And I'm going to set this cocktail to the side. I'm going to take my serving glass. This is where the absinthe comes in. So you just need a splash of absinthe or a 1/4 ounce. I am going to use my measuring glass because I'm being a good steward of this cocktail. Because all you're doing with the absinthe in a Sazerac is rinsing the glass. what that looks like is just guiding the absinthe around the glass so that the entire inside has just sort of the ephemeral absinthe feeling and smell. Because when you stick your nose in there, whoo, you're going to get that anise, that anise. Okay, now, here comes a fun part. Because if you are me, then you have a fancy bartending tool, a strainer that fits right on top of your pint glass. If you're a home bartender, I highly suggest getting one of these to invest in because this is going to make your life a lot easier. But here's the method. If you don't have a strainer, take your pint glass that you just rinsed your absinthe into, have a little treat, and then you can actually strain your cocktail by using both of the pint glasses so that you keep the ice out of your serving glass. Because again, a Sazerac is served up, which means without ice, so there should be no ice in this cocktail. But look at that ruby red color. Isn't that fun? That is the color that you want to see in your Sazerac. However, this cocktail is not done. We need garnish. So for a Sazerac, you're going to want just the lemon peel. You don't want a lemon wedge. You don't need to cut this lemon. In fact, you can use this lemon for whatever else. So again, you're just going to take the peel of the lemon. And for me, I just put a little tear in it so that it will sit on the top of the glass. But before I do that, I'm going to rub that peel along the edge of the glass before letting it sit there. And voila, you have made a beautiful, tasty Sazerac. What are you going to do now? Well, I hope that you will go ahead and like this video and that you'll join me for more cocktail creations. This weekend, we are looking for a few people to take whiskey shelfies. So that means taking a selfie with your whiskey shelf. It doesn't matter how bare it looks in quarantine times. I'm right there with you. In fact, here's mine. Yeah, it could use a trip to the store. But whatever you've got, wherever you sip your whiskey, we want to see it. We want to see you. Go ahead and post that to your social media. Tag My Lemon Green Whiskey. Tag Whiskey Shelfie. And we will pick one of you to win some swag and just to celebrate next week. See you then. Cheers.
I love it when you sing. I love it when you're moving with me.